So whenever you're ready, you may begin.
In a world split by war, everyone's eyes were upon the small Japanese island of Okinawa. The Battle of Okinawa was a crucial moment in the Pacific portion of the Second World War that helped change the course of the war. Long fights, tough strategy, and high body counts make the Battle of Okinawa an important part of not just United States history, but also world history. Although not everyone has heard exactly about the Battle of Okinawa, most of us can connect to this topic. Many of us have learned about World War II in the past, or a family that fought in the war or helped support it. War is an important part of history, and it is important that we all know where we come from. Knowing how we come from the war also involves knowing the effects of major battles, such as the Battle of Okinawa. History.com's article, The Battle of Okinawa, states that the battle was an 82-day endeavor that began on April 1st, 1945. It involved the pitting of 287,000 American troops against Japan's 130,000 Army men and Home Guardsmen. The book, Okinawa, The Last Battle, by Roy E. Appleman et al., says the invasions of Pacific islands such as Okinawa were part of the Allies' plans to make their way to Japan. They hoped to end the war there by attacking the southern shore of Japan's main island, Honshu. Sadly, it would not be as easy as they thought to fight their way there. The Japanese forces fought well, fought hard, and fought to the death. Richard Lee, in his article, Japanese Success at Okinawa, says the Japanese employed kamikaze tactics on Allied forces on the coast of Okinawa, crashing the remainder of their air forces into U.S. fleets. The Japanese ground troops dug themselves into any form of protection that they could find. The article, Battle of Okinawa, says they used caves, pillboxes, and even castles and fought defensively most of the time. They rarely attacked and saved most of their energy to drag out the battle. According to Lee, this provided time for the Japanese home defenses to prepare. Lee also says that Japan's tenacity and willingness to fight to the death affected the troops willing to fight, giving the Japanese an additional upper hand. Richard Lee said, and I quote, "Considering the brutality of the battle and the length of time in constant combat against an enemy who would fight to the death, it is surprising that more men did not suffer from debilitating emotional and psychological problems." Contrary to Japanese defensive tactics, American forces took an offensive approach. Appleman et al. Says that the American troops had superior weaponry and armor. Okinawa, The Last Battle, goes on to explain that naval gunfire played a major role in the battle, with more naval gunfire being used than in any battle before. The book also says that another critical piece of Allied tactics were night fires. These fires illuminated the night and prevented the Japanese from attacking in the dark. With all of the tough fighting and endless strategic moves, the cost of the battle was high. History.com explains how the Battle of Okinawa had high casualties on either side, leaving thousands dead. The article also says that Japanese losses were severe, with the Japanese losing over 77,000 troops. American casualties were not quite as bad, but the cost was still high. To quote Okinawa, The Last Battle, "The price paid for Okinawa was dear. Total American battle casualties were 49,151, of which 12,520 were killed or missing, 36,631 were wounded." Now, for my visual aid, this dot represents one American life in the Battle of Okinawa. This is a picture of 10,000 dots, which is not quite as many as died or were gone missing during the battle. And this is 40,000 dots, which is about how many people were just wounded, not even counting killed or wounded in this battle. And this is just on the American side. So this isn't even a close representation to how many lives were actually affected during this battle. Although the losses were high, the Battle of Okinawa was not fought in vain. Appleman et al. Believe that this major battle changed the fate of World War II. The book also mentions that the Americans and the Allied forces proved that they could fight the Japanese and beat any of their defenses. But they also learned that the cost of such a fight was very dear. Richard Lee puts it as, "The result of Battle of Okinawa therefore ultimately led to the use of atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and forever changed the world's concept of strategic diplomacy." The Battle of Okinawa truly was a stepping stone to the ending of World War II, as it caused the Allied forces to avoid combat in favor of the atomic bomb. Long fights, tough strategy, and high body counts make the Battle of Okinawa an important part of history. The battle was an 82-day campaign in which both sides fought hard, and their fighting changed the course of World War II. The Battle of Okinawa was truly a battle for the ages.
Give a round of applause.